Hello everyone, James S. Cassidy here, and it's time for the final NaruSaku fan club podcast.
No!
Dang it!
Most of the gang is here. Say hi, fellas.
Hello.
Yes.
Yo.
And for you all curious, because I know you've been filling my inbox and everything. No, For Life isn't dead. And no, he's not in a sea of depression in his bed crying. You don't know how many theories I've got. I've had people send me those messages, but
Yeah, For
Did we
Life.
start it?
yeah, we started.
Oh.
Ow.
Yeah. Well, actually,
My ears.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about the chapters. We're not even going to.
What's this stag thing?
It's
So we're
for
not
life.
even going to talk about the chapters. So we're not even going to talk about the chapters. We're not even going to discuss them. If you want to know about the chapters, you can read them to yourselves, or you can look at the reactions on YouTube and all the stuff like that. Because I know it's not pretty, and Tumblr is not looking pretty right now.
I don't
especially
really
Tumblr.
actually know what the. I don't really know what the reactions on YouTube. All I know is probably that the idiot Narihina YouTubers are probably praising the chapter.
Well, what do you expect?
That's
It's-
why kind
Like
of
for Neverworld and Swayer. Those two.
That's why I subscribed towards them, because I just didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
He's
So
been avoiding everything, really.
It's
Yeah,
good to hear
boy.
the opinions of your opposition.
Yeah.
I already know the opinions on my opposition. They're dumb, stupid, and they have no care for the story whatsoever. But I digress.
They
So
won, by the way.
what?
They won, by
Yeah.
the way. They got
Turns
what
out they
wanted.
were right, and we're the ones who are all in denial.
Yeah, we were all in denial, and now things have been done. We're done.
Hey, at least we didn't
We
have
should
to
probably-
ass pull.
We should probably focus on the podcast now.
So you know what? Yeah, Narahina fans, you won. You were right. You got everything that you wanted. But
Hooray for underdevelopment!
you know what? Honestly, it's a hollowed victory. And I'm gonna be honest when I say this, that everybody, except for you guys, know that this is all completely ass pulled, and that's the only way those two couples could have gotten together. You had to literally ass pull everything into existence.
Also, it could be just Kurama just dreaming the whole thing because he's asleep. You're like,
Guys, we're forgetting that we have a movie coming out, and that's going to explain everything. So you just gotta be patient.
No,
we
guys.
don't need a movie. I hate it
It's
when
just pretty much Studio Period bullshit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
But,
not like
but didn't Kishimoto work on this one too, like he did with Road to Ninja?
I don't know. Perhaps they're maybe even just faking his involvement. That's what I'm just starting to think.
honestly.
well, of course he could just add in character designs, and they call that involvement. So
And Hinata is the last person. Hinata and her sister are the last person to be shown with the sketches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got one single joke about the pairing. There's a simple explanation for that. Damn it, writers! Damn it, Kishi!
Okay.
Apparently he didn't even write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. that
What's
he
the
didn't-
source on that though? Because I've been hearing that.
you
Yeah, I've
know,
been here now.
there are many theories on what this ending is. There are many people that say that he didn't write it. He was forced. You know what? I don't know. Nothing is
I don't
confirmed.
care.
Nothing is said. The only
Yeah.
thing I know is that we got it, and it's crap.
yeah, it's completely
Those,
and utterly crap.
Those death threats got to him, it seems.
I think the
Oh please,
value-
not even Dan. Come on, what? But come on, not even Dan Slott actually reacted to those death threats. I think he actually did. The police to some extent.
I just want to make sure listeners know, we don't know either. We don't know if this was his decision or not. Like, we at the moment, we're under the assumption it was his decision. So we have no proof to say.
And I mean, also, you have to keep in mind that he is going to show up at Jump Festa, so I'm going to assume he'll give that answer. I'm going to assume that.
He's going to get the answer.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to get really sensitive about it and defend his reasoning, and it's going to be stupid. Like, I could really predict that it's going to be dumb. His reasoning is going to be dumb.
His reason is going to be as reliable as the reason why Assassin's Creed Unity has to stay 900p.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's cinematic, though. It's cinematic. It's 24 FPS, you know?
Yeah, but point is...
I just want to make sure people know I'm not angry at Kishimoto or anything. I'm just angry at this whole how the manga ended.
Yeah.
I'll get to it later.
Yeah, to be honest,
I'll get to what I had to say of the manga a little bit later myself.
So, should we just go with what I originally was going to do in this one?
Let's please do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right,
not get off topic, guys.
So,
stay calm.
So, all right. So, what we're going to do for this one, we're not really going to discuss the chapter in detail like we used to do. Instead, what we're going to do is I want all of you guys to give me your name, whether it's your avatar or your real name, or if you want both, it doesn't matter. To give me the age, if you want to give it. You know, how long you have been with this series, and what do you think of all this? And if there's any message you can give to anybody, to all our listeners out there who followed us since the beginning, who've been listening to this podcast week after week and supporting us and everything like that, what kind of message would you give to them?
Okay. I'll start off. Hello there, people. I'm Johnathen Ten, or known as Johnathen Johnson, or P96822. I have a lot of names. My age is 23. I started with the Naruto series when it first come on Toonami because of Naruto's ability to transform into a girl. That was the thing when I was still kind of young. My feelings for the series is a mixed bag. I just love everything about the explanations, some of the characters, and all that. But this is where the things just stop, because like Kishi doesn't explain or gives his characters that much development. The development of like Hinata or Kiba or even Shino, they're not that developed, and really I don't like that about Kishi's writing. He makes all the side characters kind of worthless. I mean, besides like Team 10, Team Shikamaru, some team, which I actually thought were pretty good in development part. Anyway, what I think about Naruto having these children, I don't care no more. I just lost my ability to care. So, yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. Mine's going to be a lot longer. Hello, my name is Transformers03. Real name is Misael Duran, as in the band Duran. I am 20 years old. I've been following the series since 2005 or 2006, whenever it first started appearing on Toonami. So for a good 9 or 8 years, I've been following the series. My opinions about this, I just want to say I love the series. I'm always going to love the series, like no matter what. I bought a 4 Hokage jacket. I'm going to wear the hell out of that. I love the series. I'm going to always love the series. I don't care how it really ended. I'm actually going to pretend that those last 2 chapters didn't happen. It may be stupid, but that's how I'm going to deal with it. It's not like the fact that our ship being lost. It's not that. I just think it was not good chapters at all. In general, but even before these last few chapters came out, I was really, I told this in the last podcast, I was in this really neutral stance. But even with that neutral stance, like, I still was I said 95% sure that NaruSaku will fit, and I stand by that. It's just that 5% chance of it didn't happen won out, I guess. And it's like, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I am not as frustrated about it. Because I had, like I said, I wasn't as into it, so I didn't panic as badly as other people did. And to be honest, it could have been worse. And it was worse, actually, now that I think of it, because Sakura and Sasuke, oh god, damn, Sakura and Sasuke. Like, and I just want to say, I'm alright with Naruto and Hinata, I guess. Not really, because they lack development and all that, but whatever. But it's just, they didn't match anything thematically, narratively, or was properly foreshadowed at all. Neither was the other pairing I'm not going to bring up, because I like to think that didn't happen. But it was just, this romance subplot ends horribly, so horribly. Like, it makes no sense if you think about it. And I'm going to say this with 90% sincerity, but for you Naruhina fans, at least the nice ones who don't go around picking on NaruSaku fans, good for you. I am happy for you. But fuck Saku fans. Fuck them. And fuck the fact that they won in the end. Like, screw this. Like, oh god, it's not even like a lot of people say it can ruin Sakura's character. I don't think it did. I think it just ruins the romance, and I think it's insensitive to other romances. Like I could write better romance than that. Anyone could do that. And what's gonna be frustrating about this, because I think the last 2 chapters are awful, I really do. But the fact that the most fans in North America, at least, are like big Saku and Naruhina fans, they're not going to see it like that. They're going to say, oh, well, my parents, this is a great ending. Rather than seeing it like how it fails to properly foreshadow it, it fails to properly develop it, and it fails on multiple levels. It's a big failure. The last 2 chapters are just failures. That's why I'm refusing to even acknowledge it at all. And my brother wants to have conversations about it. I'm like, no, I don't acknowledge it at all. And he thinks it's because it's shipping related, which I'll admit a little bit is. But at the same time, it was like kind of a middle finger to me at the same time. I just want to reiterate, I love the series. I'm going to continue loving the series. I'm going to look back fondly of the series. But for now, I'm probably going to take a few months off of it. You want to know? A year off from this, maybe? And just from Naruto itself. And, yeah. But the one thing I want to say to other NaruSaku fans, you weren't delusional. I never thought Naruhina fans were delusional either. I thought Saku fans were delusional, but besides the point. But we're not delusional. In fact, I wrote a post on the H&E fan site saying that if Naruhina happens, I will take it as a surprise that was meant to shock the fans. And that's how I took it when I read the chapter. Because I feel like Kishiro said the ending will be a surprise. And I'm like, I thought about it, like, well, the surprise is if he doesn't give it Sakura. I'm like, oh, that's the surprise. So that's why I took it. That's how I took it, and I think that's what he was trying to go with. It was still bad either way. So yeah, but at the same time, for you other NaruSaku, you were delusional. And most likely or not, you're going to continue shipping it anyways. So it doesn't matter if it didn't happen. You're still going to wake up in the morning. You're going to be fine. If you need to take a time out of the Naruto series, then do that. Just remember, it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing ever. And don't let yourself be bullied by the other fandoms because of that. As long as you yourself is nice and stuff, just ignore them. Okay. Oh, I'm done actually. So yeah. Next.
Okay, I'm Lucky7. You guys know me on YouTube already. I'm 19 years old, and I've been with the series, say around like mid 2008, which is probably when I was in like 8th grade. So now I'm like in like my second year of college, and I actually got to the series like through my friend. Like I just saw him like carrying around like the first volume of Naruto, and I was like, "Where'd you get that?" And he's like, "It's at the library." So I checked it out. I read it, and I was like, "Okay." So I kept reading it, really enjoyed it, and I've been following the series like since then. Like through Naruto's goal, seeing like what his obstacles are, how he's gonna overcome it. Like that's the thing that really drove me into the series. And I mean, later on down the road, I got into the whole pairing things, like choosing sides between NaruSaku, Naruhina. I mean, Sasusaku, I was like, never on that boat. But just between NaruSaku and Naruhina, I was like, all right. I was more so NaruSaku, though. Like at least 99% of me was, and everything was running well with the story, everything. But these final 2 chapters, they come out. I read them, and actually, I stayed up that whole night just like waiting for the chapters to come out because I was like, you know what, forget sleep. I'm gonna stay up and I'm gonna read it. I did that, and I was like, wow, I really regret doing that. I really, really regret it. I mean, to me, it just doesn't feel like it's something Kishi would have done. But at the same time, I'm kind of just like, the ending happened. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. But, I mean, to all the NaruSaku fans, I mean, we lost. I get that, but come on. We all know we're not gonna, give up on our ship. Because we know we're the most logical pairing. Because, I mean, the only reason why Naruhina, and especially Sasusaku, the only reason why they're canon is through an ass-pull ending. That's all I'm gonna say when it comes to that. But, I mean, overall, the series, I enjoyed it. The story, the suspense, I mean, all of that was phenomenal. But the romance aspect of it, like, now that it's completely done, I mean, it tanks. It really, really tanks. And that's the only thing about the series that will probably irk me whenever I go back and read it. But, I mean, for the most part, I might take about, maybe a couple months off and then jump back into it and reading it. But, I mean, for the most part, I'm going to enjoy Naruto. I always will. But the last 2 chapters are just, they don't exist to me. And that's kind of it when it comes to my point of view.
Alright, so I guess it's my turn then.
Yes.
My name is Brandon. On YouTube, I'm DJ Brandon. On the forums, I'm Brandon, BRANDEN. It's the NaruSaku forums if you want to go look for me there. My real name, just Brandon. I'm 17 years old. I've been following this series since 2005 when it first aired on Toonami, but that's when I was first introduced to the series. I followed this series on and off throughout the years. I think there was a very long period of time when I just stopped following the series entirely. But then I think it was around when Shippuden started airing again that I started getting back into it, started realizing, hey, there's an actual manga for this, there's a Japanese stuff. That's when I really started to become a real Naruto fan. Before then, it was just like a passive interest on a TV show. But how do I feel about the series? Well, the series to me has always been a very unique concept. You got this ninja world, you got all these jutsu, it's really interesting. There's all this good music in the anime, there's these really cool character designs. So it's always just been those typical shonen series that I really liked, and the pairings, while those were kind of a bigger part of it later on, I still think that the series was able to carry itself without the pairings, at least up until after the Pain arc, because after the Pain arc is really where I think the series started to a bit get carried away in the whole power levels thing, and too many people trying to look for peace in different ways. But yeah. As for a message I can say to people, well, I mean, just keep in mind that you can say you're so sure of your opinion, but ultimately you have to recognize that there are other opinions out there on the series, and perhaps yours has always been wrong. I don't necessarily think that we were wrong in our interpretation of the series, saying, well, these last 2 chapters, they came out of nowhere, there was no explanation, but I would have been okay with these last 2 chapters, all of the things included, if Kishimoto had taken the time to explain all of them. Say, maybe there was this shinobi over here who came up with all these different technologies. Maybe the reason why Konoha is so big is because all of them immigrated there because they had better farmland or something. Or maybe Hinata and Naruto had some kind of moment together, and this is how it actually started. You know, all he had to do was give an explanation. I would have been okay with it. Final words, I would say the series is what you make of it. If you want to choose to view the series in a certain way and see only the good part and not the bad, that's your own decision. But the series is completed, and we have to look at it as it is. Next up, BlueStar.
Okay, hello people, I'm BlueStar. Saver. Before I begin, let's see. I remember, like, last time I came on here, there was, like, this one, I was told that there was this one listener to the podcast that didn't like me because I was being a bit temperamental. Personally, I was gonna, before this ending actually came out, originally I was gonna say, before I begin, I was gonna promise the guy I wasn't going to be, losing my temper as much, and not try to interrupt as much, but, I'm not going to interrupt now, but but for the temper part, I cannot really keep that promise. Now, personally, let's see, where was it to begin? Yes, my name, BlueStar Saber, my age is 20. How long have I been with the series? I believe originally when I was the earliest I can remember is 12, I think, so probably around 8 years. Personally, when I first heard of Naruto, I was on TV on Jetix. It was pretty much about... Personally, the concept looks stupid, but that's what I was kind of like with every show. An advert of the show, I said, okay, I just don't like it, stupid. Then, one day, when my family went to Center Parks, if any of you have ever heard of it, but I doubt any of you have, since I think it's only a UK holiday area. Let's see... You can only watch certain amount of things on TV, and Jetix was one of the channels. Naruto was on it. Got a bit interested then. Then my dad sent DVDs to me and my brother to watch. That's when I got into it. And then I started watching the series on cartoons. Then when they're taking forever, and because the UK takes forever to get all the stuff when it comes to anime episodes. Then I just went on, found YouTube videos online. It was mainly the Naruto and Sasuke fight, then Shippuden in Japanese, and I continued watching it there. And then when the Pain arc was running around the time Naruto was about to begin his fight, that's when I learned about the manga. And then I became a regular manga fan. Later came Bleach, One Piece, blah blah, and Fairy Tail. And how do I feel about the series? Personally, to me, this was the manga. This was my favorite manga. When I knew some people probably preferred One Piece better than Naruto. I didn't really mind. Although now, I kind of got annoyed by the more elitist attitude of like people over praising One Piece, but that's not what we're talking about. But this was like my second favorite series of all time, the first being Star Wars. Personally, I thought nothing could get me so pissed off with the series. I will admit, personally, for me, the best part was Part 2, the first half, with Shippuden from like the beginning to the Pain arc. While, unlike some people who seem to bloody hate the war, I'm not saying that there are some... I personally think that bit of the part of Naruto is a bit more criticized harshly than war. I mean, there were some good parts to it, like anything with Gaara in Team 7 Reunion, Team 10, let's see, Naruto becoming a leader, blah, blah, blah. I even liked the controversial decisions, the controversial stuff with Obito. I personally think that was good I thought that was interesting, and it probably brought a bit more into Kakashi's character. Let's see, what else was there? Kaguya, I liked Kaguya. I know some would say it's a bit forced, and I do believe that we should have gotten more hints about her sooner. let's see, sooner. And that her fight should have lasted longer. But, and also, let's see, I believe some people, not, well, personally, I think this was more of a mixed thing, like the Sage of Six Paths revealing the incarnations with, like, Sasuke and Naruto being Ashwin, and personally, I liked the idea. I know some people saying it destroyed the theme of hard work or underdog, when I personally didn't really think it did, because personally, it pretty much gave Naruto a destiny that he was going to end up fighting Sasuke and fail. That's what it was pretty much saying, but he pretty much overcome that. It seems like that was what he was going to do. I mean, it looked like he wasn't going to succeed in the end from given the carnation stuff, but he did. Anyway, now about the chapter. Personally, like I said, regardless of how much chapter bad though people said about those chapters, like the Kakashi eyes from the whole Obito spirit transfer thing, Matter with no eyes in Naruto, or Bleach's eyes and defeat Fullbring arc, or the parts in the Blood War that are hated, or fairy tales, ass pulls like Elsa's, or Happy surviving an explosion, or the arcs which probably I consider bad, like One Piece's Fisherman Island and Punk Hazard, and the parts in Dressrosa I do not like, such as Usopp's stupid silly face thing with Sugar, or pretty much whenever a big villain gets one-shotted, because that's happened a lot lately. But no matter how much I disliked any chapter from any of those 4 mangas before, never before did I have a manga chapter I wanted to rip, shred, and burn to pieces. Because it felt like to me it was like a big middle finger to any fan who had read the series, since it contradicted everything that was leading up to it with the characters, such as NaruSaku, Sakura moving on from Sasuke, let's see, her becoming a better ninja than her master, let's see, Sasuke, from a character who had no interest in her, suddenly had a kid with her that looks like Karin, which I kind of feel like is a big middle finger to like the Sasu Karin fan base and Taka fan base, since, well, I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty upset about this as well. Let's see, the only thing I really liked in this ending was like the Sasuke and Naruto bonding moments where Naruto tries to give Sasuke his X headband, and the fact that Naruto becomes Hokage. But personally, it also hated it because while Naruto became Hokage, he became a complete asshole to his son. It looked like he was a complete neglectful father, which is not what any of us had envisioned him to be. I mean, I always expected him to have like some faults as a father, since he never really had like the proper father figure, well, probably actual father in his life. But I think he would actually pay more attention to his son than he would do that. Not to mention, I do not really like the looks of some of these kids. I mean, some of them looked forced. I mean, the Choji Haru one was just plain random. I mean, that was okay. How's that even possible? Personally, there's also, wait, is someone interrupting me? Oh no, not my bad. Let's see. And the Shikatem, I suppose that is one thing most people can agree on, but they didn't even look happy. Personally, I don't really know what happened. Did someone else take over Kishimoto for this writing, like what I'm hearing on Tumblr? Was he forced to do this? Let's see, what other rumors were there? Let's see, what else was there? I don't know. Let's see, but personally, I was really looking forward to this new era project before it, before this chapter, because now it's probably gonna suck. But mainly because, like, with the fourth data book coming out, it was revealing info about like Sakura having water and earth as elemental natures and yin and yang. I figured Sakura might get more screen time in that. Personally, when it comes to the whole Sakura bit, I know some fans did not like how some little bits she was used at times. Personally, for most part, I was okay with her character. I mean, her character's used. Yes, I do think she should at least got 2 more major fights, but it's just really pretty much the ending that just destroyed her character the most, I will admit. But and also when it comes with like Hinata, I now actually hate the character. I actually now hate her, like what me and James were discussing like a few days ago with. If she dropped dead, I would consider that good storytelling. Let's see now, is anything else left to say? A message to the fandom. Personally, I don't know what to say, because personally for me, I don't know what I want to do with Naruto afterwards. Because I've got a few Naruto stuff I have. Do I want to keep it? Do I just get out of my sight? Do I just wait and see what happens? Will this ending stick? Will it be retcon? Because I hear the fans in Japan and critics, even though the chapter's not released yet, are really pissed off about it. Is this kind of sort of just a chapter for the Western audience, and NaruSaku chapters coming out in Japan? One ending for one side of the world, one ending for the other. 2 alternate endings, that kind of stuff. Like, I think most RPG games do, role-playing games do. Personally, is there something Kishimoto has planned? Because I think some users on Tumblr posted on that. But personally, I'd say for me, this was a good series. It had its faults. I mean, the power levels went a bit overblown near the end, even though technically it's not as bad as like Dragon Ball when it goes to like, I think it got the galaxy destroying thing, or some of Marvel's and DC's more end of the universe doomsday stuff. But yeah, there were sort of bits that shouldn't happen, like ass pulls with certain bits that kind of, personally, didn't really that should not have happened. There could have been a better way of doing it. Let's see, thoughts, because I'm trying to make everything count, but I can't think a bit straight. But personally, NaruSaku, to fans out there who are wondering whether or not they should quit or not, personally, if you still want to continue the series, I'd say either think up to Pain Arc and just imagine the ended there, just imagine something's happened differently than what was presented, or when Team 7 defeated Kaguya, and then make up your own headcanon endings there, or 698, where you imagine things up there as well. I'm repeating myself now. And who knows, if we're lucky, they might change the end. Like that one anime called Evergun or something like that. Who knows? That's all I have to say. Well, that's all I can think of to say.
Alright then. My name is LKNMJH, although on this podcast, I am known as LKNMJH, also known as Steve, because, well, I guess if people can tell, this is the name I've sort of adapted because James here could never pronounce it properly. which
And
is
I
why
still
I
can't.
had
Me neither.
Okay, so wait, you're gonna say your full name now or something?
No, just saying here that I've adopted the also known as Steve because, well, frankly, it is quite easier to remember it like that, but whatever, I still respect my username.
So what is your username? I'm just curious now. I'm really curious now because I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's LKNMJH. That's it.
Oh, right.
Here, I'll write it.
Like mine is P96822.
There. Anyway. 20 years old.
I'm just gonna call you P9.
As for how long I've been with the series, I'll give an abridged version of how I got into it. Got into the anime through Toonami because Peter Cullen is awesome at doing promotions. Then I got into the manga. Then I got to reading the manga online. What do I feel about this series? Well, I'll get to what I feel about the ending in a moment here. But as far as the series itself is concerned, it's a pretty solid series. From all the way to the beginning, it's a pretty good read. Like Harry Potter. It starts off slow, then gradually builds up and builds up and builds up. However, for the longest time, I thought that this manga had only one misstep that was just so horrendously bad that I couldn't even begin to believe that Kishimoto had even bothered to create it. What I'm referring to is, of course, Chapter 667, the one where Kabuto comes the hell out of nowhere for horrendously ridiculous reasons. The Great Snake Escape? Whatever, it's just a manga. Pain giving up his own life to revive the people he had killed during his rampage upon the Leaf Village? Whatever, it's just a manga. Naruto regrowing Kakashi's original pre-Sharingan eye? Whatever, it's just a manga. The point I'm trying to make is that for every ridiculous thing that some people in the Naruto fandom have went up in arms over, I would always just hand wave them and say, it's just a manga. And as such, there's always going to be times where I have to willingly suspend my disbelief for the purpose of letting the story be told as is. After all, there have been plenty of worse things that have happened in other forms of fictional media, and I still enjoy those things plenty. That is, up until this past week. Little backstory on my end. Throughout all this week, I deliberately avoided any and all websites that would leak spoilers for what was originally supposed to be 699. That is up until Wednesday, when I decided to check out the NaruSaku Facebook page to see what other fans were saying about this series ending, and boy, did I regret it. Why? Well, one of the first things that I saw was a post saying, here are some leaked images for 699 and 700 from 4chan. And god damn, people were already having their spirits broken left and right. But for what? I asked myself. You look at those images and see right away that not one of them makes sense when you break down and analyze them. And besides, anything, and I mean anything, released through 4chan automatically has its credibility put into question. This should have been an immediate red flag that something wasn't right. Then, chapters 699 and 700 came out that eventful Thursday. After reading them, I had two initial thoughts. One, much like when the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger appeared in Dino Thunder, where I liked the fact that he shows up with the correct type of gold shield, they completely fucked up his helmet and give him ridiculous green stripe. No, silver stripes. My
And
bad.
they keep them in Super Mega Force.
Shh, 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 shh. As I was saying, much like when that happened, I like that Naruto became the Hokage, but they completely fucked up his character in every which way, shape, or form, to the point where it just became pointless. He has the title, but that's it. There is nothing to suggest that he himself even deserves this, because everything about him screams that he should show something to deserve this, but nothing ever comes up. So for me, this represents an extremely, inconceivably hollow victory that to me should not be celebrated, but rather be something that should be mentioned in passing. The second initial thought I had after reading these two chapters: not only has Naruto been fucked up as a character, but so has everyone else, except maybe Shikamaru. Even everyone's children has been screwed with. Why in the hell, after 15 years of making a very decent story, does everyone get screwed over with? It makes no sense. But now that I've had the proper chance to really sit down and gather my thoughts, specifically after I talked to James and BlueStar on Thursday, I am here to say that I am not here to talk about the ending. No, that has been done to death. What I am here to talk about is why I don't like this ending. No, wait. Like isn't a powerful enough word. It's too soft. It implies that there might be something halfway decent for another person to spot. No. I'll talk about why I hate this ending. I sometimes get asked why, after getting someone into Dragon Ball, that I recommend that they should immediately start reading Naruto. And the reason is because it actually changed my life. Or at least it focused my beliefs into something that was a good, solid foundation for personal philosophy. Those who have power should use it to do good. That violence is not strength. That compassion is not weakness. That revenge is utterly pointless. That no matter how many obstacles might get in your way, no matter how many prejudices people may throw at you, as long as you can endure all of that and have the perseverance to never give up, the goals you may strive for, the ambitions you may chase, and the dreams you want to achieve can all become a reality. Naruto himself is someone I consider to be a basic modern-day medieval knight. He goes out and helps people, and he fights injustices. He has the gift for either turning his enemies into his friends or making people see sense. But he is also not a god, but a human being. He can become filled with hate, he can get enraged, and he can let his emotions get the better of him. But he is never alone to deal with all these faults by himself, because he's filled with love, and he has the support of all his friends and comrades. I hate this ending more than any other I have ever seen, read, or listened to. It shows that women will never progress past being a housewife, even though we have seen housewives being active and kicking ass. It shows that if everything else fails, you can just take the easy way out and just live a life of mediocrity. That you are doomed to repeat Generation Xerox again and again and again. That there is absolutely no way to prevent history from repeating itself. This ending just makes me wish that I was never a Naruto fan. But to wish for that is to say that I'm denying all the fun and all the enjoyment I had while reading this manga and watching the anime. And that is something I will not do. It would be fucking cheap of me to do that right now. So as far as a message from the Naruto fans or the NaruSaku fans, of my final words, I don't know. I really don't know.
For life?
The one I've been waiting to hear the most. Since you're pretty much the most relaxed Naruto fan of them all.
See, this is how you know things are bad when For Life can't even talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
I am too.
Way to go, Steve.
Yeah, it's clap, clap,
Hey,
clap,
hey,
Steve. That was impressive.
Zach,
That's what I was originally going to
I
be
don't
like. That's what I was hoping to try and do, but I kind of lost. I kind of got nervous. Anyway.
I'm gonna nominate Steve as MVP.
Everything was well said. Everything was well said. Steve, good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Really, I
Like,
agree.
For Life. Anyway, we should let For Life get his turn now. Anyway.
Let me just say thanks.
Everyone mute your mics.
It's gonna be like this.
Okay.
Oh, it's my turn. I thought Steve
my
had
God,
fun.
It's that awkward moment you see everybody just staring at you. Just,
I thought Steve said I got one last thing to say. I'm like, and then that was it.
see what happens
right.
when you stand there like a space cadet?
Yeah. My bad. All right. All right. Let's start off with my name. As you may know, it's NaruSaku 4 Life 3G. And my real name is really James. And don't get confused with James S. Cassidy. Even the first podcast recording, there was a lot of confusion when we started using real names or mixing with real names and alias. So yeah, but the real name is James. Born in New York, and yeah, been living here for 25 years. So pretty much, yeah, my age is 25, of course. So now we're talking about this series, and it's kind of hard to imagine that it actually ended. And I've been with the series for almost 10 years. If it went for one more year, and I'm not gonna even count the spinoff or whatever the continuation mumbo jumbo stuff, it would have been 10 years. But I guess this is just 9 years. So whatever. So I started in 2015, 2005, and it's funny because it started off when my cousin was like such a fanboy of Naruto. He even bought like bootlegs DVDs from Chinatown, but he wanted to see them because he was just so into the series. I don't know what the series about. All I know, there was just one guy with wearing all orange and I guess some blue parts in a white turtleneck and all that whatever crap. So I'm thinking like, what is this crap? Because I don't really watch anime like that at the time. I only see Gundam and Dragon Ball Z, and childhood days would be Pokemon and barely Digimon. I never went through the whole outburst that season 2 of Digimon took place. As you already know, this is actually similar to what just happened to Naruto, but we get to that part soon. So anyway, when my cousin was watching Rock Lee fighting Gaara, I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. Like, I didn't even know it was like that. This whole Gates thing, this whole ninja, these whole explanations. So I'm thinking it might be like another DBZ. So because at the time I'm not even thinking about stories. I'm only thinking about action. Like, to be honest, I actually thought animes were only made for actions, and they don't really do anything about story wise or anything like that. Like, oh, it's just action. It's like watching summer flick, but in anime form. So, it's naive of me, but, I was young that time. So, I decided to, try to watch a few episodes, and I found a way to do that using a torrent site. I don't remember what torrent, but let's just say I use some torrent file program, and then I just download episode 1 through 81, and I actually got so hooked that I've actually managed to reach the latest episode of the anime in Japan. It wasn't 81. It was around, I believe, where Tsunade was almost going to Konoha and become a Hokage officially. So I was like, damn, I want more episodes. What's the schedule? I was like, the schedule. I think the schedule was Wednesday at the time. I don't remember. I think it was Wednesday at the time, long time ago. So I was like, where did I download? Where can I find more episodes? So my cousin showed me the route and everything, and pretty much I became a fan. Starting liking these series, and I understood the story and characters, and that's something I didn't get from DBZ. But to be fair, when I first watched DBZ, I really didn't ask for a story. I just asked for action. So nobody really cares about stories when you're such a very young age, like especially like when you're around 12 or lower. Man, if you do care about the story, then good for you. But point is, I wasn't thinking at the time. So I went back to watch DBZ. There's some parts I like from DBZ in terms of like dialogues and story. I actually managed to notice some characters have some villain or anti-hero such as Vegeta has some badass lines. I even noticed that until I rewatched. I was like, wow, he said something really cool line and such a hateful words too. But yeah, so back to Naruto. I actually rewatched like 3 times. And the third time, I started to realize, wow, I really like this whole story and the character progress and everything else. Then we hit the filler of Hell in part 1. Not a good story, but yeah, I actually managed to survive through there, and I actually managed to go to part 2 without Shippuden, without going to the manga route. I decided to go manga as soon as I realized, they're dragging out a lot of episodes because it's like, if you recall, the first episode of Shippuden, well, not first episode, but like the first 20 episodes of Shippuden, they actually use 1 chapter rather than 2 to 3 chapters, and they keep dragging out. This is
What happened?
so, at the time, so I decided to go to manga. And I realized manga is really, really cool with the great arts and everything. Because I again, another immature of me that I think I used to think was kind of because it's still no OST, no voice acting. It's like, well, I'm just looking at images and it's all black and white. How the hell comics use colors and really nice coloring, lightings and everything, but the manga is like all black and white. Again, immature of me. But I appreciate it as times go by and I read more manga than ever. So, yeah, that's how I got hooked to Naruto. And, I became a huge fan of the series. And I freaking love NaruSaku, obviously, because, NaruSaku is such a realistic development relationship, Because it's like, you got one girl who hates this guy because now all of a sudden, no, not all of a sudden, but now she appreciates him, she likes him, platonically and stuff like that. And then part 2 happens, there's a whole different story. Everything got mature, and it just felt like, this is something you could truly relate because you could just see how much these two are really caring for each other. And rightfully so, because it's been like that for the whole entire manga. So, we reached the ending, and it's funny because a lot of people spread the rumor that I went to a deep depression. Somehow, I don't know who brought it up. I'm not sure why. I mean, I didn't even know I was that appreciative. I mean, like, granted, I do have fans of surprisingly for me. I mean, I appreciate the concern and everything. And yeah, I wasn't I'm not depressed. I was never depressed. I wasn't staying in bed all sad with candles only light up with all the music playing, some opera music playing or whatever. It wasn't like that at all. It was just thing is when Monday happened, when Evil show up with the spoiler picks, I decided to avoid all necessary. So when I did that, it was kind of a little hard because I was actually attached to the Heaven and Earth forums and even Tumblr. So I detached everywhere. So the only thing I have to do is like find a way to avoid that and, good timing, I guess. I got Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I played that. I actually liked the campaign. I think the game was good and everything. But I kept my mind off from NaruSaku forums and Naruto itself. So, it took me to Friday. I was gonna read it on Thursday, but I don't know if I was ready. And to be honest, I wasn't ready. So I delayed it by Friday to make everything seem it could be a good thing or a terrible thing. And then before when I finished the game, I told myself, shit, I really gotta read it now. I have no choice. I gotta read it. I mean, I have a choice, ignore it forever. But the point is, I already told myself, okay, I'm gonna beat Call of Duty, and then I'm just gonna read the final chapters and get it over with. So, no.
Sorry.
So Friday happened, beat the game, thought it was great, fun. Went to YouTube to see some other stuff, just not even Naruto related, just like video game related. First of all, I got spoiled that this series thing is happening. I was like, wait, what the hell? So, I'm like lost, but then at the same time, I shouldn't even be reading it because I'm thinking like, oh shit, that's spoiling, that's like killing everything. So I try not to think too much of it. And then, yeah. Then I went to YouTube. I have my subscription, and I end up seeing Scott talking about what a neutral fan sees the ending. I'm thinking, shit, it's gonna be a real bad ending, isn't it? But maybe I could be wrong. But then again, I'm trying to think, what Scott ever put a blog that's a good news? When was the last time he ever did that? I don't know. I don't remember. I tried to find a reason, but you know what? I'll just read the manga. But first, I actually went to read the entire fight again because I thought the fight was still good. The fight was still good. Sure, you want it longer. I guess you want it longer. That's okay. But for what it is, it's actually a pretty good fight. So when I reached to 698, I was still appreciative. Yeah, maybe there's a gay undertone, but So then 699 and 700 happened. First of all, why? Why you have to go to this route? You realize your story is connected to all arcs. There's a reason why One Piece could get away. It's because every story is very, very light connected. I'm not talking about like Luffy being a D, like Law being D. If I spoil you, my bad. But my point is, your story connects to everything because it's always focused on Team 7. It's always going to focus on 1, 2, or 3 people, mainly 2 with Naruto and Sasuke. So when you get to the end, or more in this case, 699, when you get to 699, you went 180 and then everything just completely messed up the entire series. Or in this case, at least part 2. It's pretty much saying part 2 never existed until the very end. The only thing that did exist, which should have been happening in part 1, is probably Naruto and Sasuke losing their arms. But that didn't even last long. It didn't even last long. So it's like, oh yeah, we could do Hashirama cell. Funny, because everybody said the same shit. So then here's the thing. I'm thinking, this ending could be real bad. Real bad. If they start changing characters. And then when you go to like last half of 699 to the next chapter, it did. And you know what happened? Here's the problem. People told me, hey, it's bad as Mass Effect 3 ending. I don't think so anymore. I truly don't think so. What I think is Mass Effect 3, here's the thing. It's a video game. It gave me fun. It gave me entertainment. I love the characters from all 3 games. And here's another thing. The ending didn't destroy the characters. It just messed up the path of the entire reasons behind your choices. That's the only thing is destroyed. I mean, yeah, the ending is still lackluster in many other ways, but it doesn't. No, you can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Look, Mass Effect 3, it only ruins the path of your decision because it all goes down to 3 colors, or if you messed up some parts, 2 colors. The point is, you supposed to you create all the different decision making. You make a good path, you make a bad path, Paragon, Renegade. And then when it comes to the end, you will have like a different options because you keep doing this way. Like if I go all Paragon, my option at the end should be a Paragon related issue, not just like, well, you can still choose the Renegade. But here's the thing, that didn't destroy characters. It only messed up the path and it messed up the whole reason behind of your decisions. That's what's ruined. This ruined paths, themes, and characters. That's the problem. You fucked the characters. You completely 180 at the final minute. And another problem is you put a wall. You put a fucking bubble shield, a visible bubble shield that nobody can notice, like, oh shit, she's right there. Because clearly you don't want them to interact. Clearly you want to give you the idea that, hey, war was bad, people are dead, move on. Is that really we have to go? Is that really you want to tell us? And why is Sasuke, it has to be the end closure? Why? 699 have Sasuke monologuing because you know why? This is about his story. Fine, but here's the problem: 700 doesn't give me a monologue of Naruto. It doesn't give me too many highlights of Naruto. It just tells me, hey, look, he's a Hokage in the time where Hokage don't even really should exist anymore because a lot of things have changed to the point it goes New York. So give it like maybe 20 more years, we'll finally get Advanced Warfare storyline in there. That's the only thing I would have liked. I would actually like this series would have actually been saved if Naruto just went Kevin Spacey from Advanced Warfare and just went all heel and just went all dictatorship. This would have been saved. It would have been interesting. Because clearly you didn't make it interesting in 700. Hell, you should have did the ending similar to I try to remember the movie. I think it's The Graduate. I don't remember. All I remember in that one of the movies, you have 2 couples like laughing their ass off, escaping from their parents, and then when they sit down in the bus, they realize what's next. There is no hope. There is no happiness. It's just nothing. It's not in there. That's what you just did with the ending. It's nothing there. I didn't feel satisfied. I didn't get the ending what I want. Or what the ending that the series wants. Or the series demand. Or the series asks for. Because you just went 180 and you want to please the fan. I went to one reviewers even said the same things. I guess 700 was mainly just to please the fans. Even though a lot of things are mixed. Like, why the hell Ino and Sai even happened? I don't know. Well, it's a funny thing. You trying to find a way to escape, and you found the escape by doing a time skip. In other words, you don't want to explain because it's horse shit. The fact is pure shit. So you don't want to explain. You just let time skip do the explain. And then you expect the movie to do more explanations. Here's the thing. I won't even be surprised there's another a bubble shield, force barrier, a mute charge in front of Naruto and Sakura. Why? Because they can't communicate anymore. Apparently, everybody just lost their mind. Apparently, when the Sasuke did this heart stab to the heart, her heart was connected to the brain, so her development just disappeared. Hell, I would like to think that when Sakura was thinking about the final flashback that we ever see in the series in terms of Sakura, I would like to think Kakashi would say, you just had witnessed your final flashbacks because from here on out, we're going to go hit the reset button. And that's what happened at 699. The reset button has happened. Not only that, but Naruto literally went OOC, and the only thing his mind tracked is Sasuke. Look, I really appreciate the whole bromance thing. I get it. But why is that Naruto, doesn't have any much say but just to say, hey, here's your headband and we're brotherhood for the end. That's cool and everything, but there's no more to it. What's next is him already being Hokage and then just doing a meeting that really, that should not be the final chapter at all. It should not be the final chapter. There was no theme. There was no lesson learned. In fact, even the very last page only tells me, we went through a lot of hells. Well, Naruto went through a lot of hells, but he stopped the war. So thank you. Is that what you want to tell me? I expected Full Metal Alchemist ending. Full Metal Alchemist ending gave me a good moral lessons because that's what they do. That's what a writer would do. And you didn't do that. You just tell me he saved the day. He went through hell. That's fine, but you gotta give us a lesson. You telling us we're just here to see just to see like some superhero flick or stuff like that. It's pretty much only missing now is to say thanks to the pop-up girls, but you use Konoha. That's all we're missing because you just didn't make it into a moral story. You didn't make it into anything that's like very, very emotional impact. You didn't. All you just did was give us all the fan service in the galaxy and just whatever you want to brush off, like, oh yeah, meanwhile the former Kages are doing this. Meanwhile, Kakashi is with God. Meanwhile, he that. And it's funny because I just noticed that you're trying to do that formation order by like let's take cover with teams 8, and then we go with team Guy, and then we go over team 10. And it's funny because I saw that formation. I clearly saw that formation because I didn't see Hinata anymore at the very end. So you pretty much telling me that it felt like this could have always be alternated. It could have always be alternated. I decided this route because I don't know. Maybe I just fucking don't care. Because you could obviously either change the character, the daughter of Naruto. You could change the character daughter Naruto and not be Naruto's kid, or you could just have no kid and just have Hinata pay tribute to Neji. It's like it's such an easy way to alternate this whole thing. That's what makes it so stupid. That's what makes it feel like something's not right. And it's funny because I should have thought about the entire Kaguya. There's a reason why I was testing Scott, because I'm trying not to have doubt that he's gonna start making shit up. I can't say Kage is complete made up, but I can't say he didn't do a good job with it. And that's the problem. When he didn't do a good job, something tells me more out of nowhere is going to happen. And it did. So here's the thing. The ending, I don't really follow too much of a ending justify the means idea. But you gotta think about it. Again, the ending didn't only chose the path. It chose the characters, their characteristics, their dignity, their personality, everything about them. Again, Mass Effect, you could get away because the only thing you're doing is change the ending. You probably have everybody robotic. You probably have Reaper dead. You probably start controlling Reaper. That's it. but this one, you were telling every character, hey, you know, you couldn't get your dream, but so what? So that's what you're trying to tell us. You didn't give us appropriate ending. You pretty much have a lot of character. You're giving some characters the idea like, you know, you deserve a happy ending. I'm gonna pair you up with these characters. Why? Because I just need to do that so you don't feel bad of yourself. Then you'll be like, how the hell is only one pairing that's obvious in terms of story base is the only one that gets canon, and that's Shikamaru and Tamari. Everyone else is like, let's flip a coin or let's get that ball thing that what South Park described as Family Guy get the ideas of making an episode or a joke. Because that's what you did. How are they supposed to know Choji and this other girl? How even I'm supposed to know that Ino and Sasai's gonna happen? Look, I don't have it that much against it, but it did come out of nowhere. And the problem is you pretty much saying all the dreams in that dream world will come true. Just gotta ass pull it. Rightfully so. Rightfully so, you just did. You really did it. So let me ask you this. Did you really plan this, Kishi? Because you could say, no, I really didn't. I just say, fuck it. Then I will show some respect. Why? Because at least it makes sense. Because let's face it, I recapped this whole fucking manga, and I see nothing but NaruSaku is gonna happen. You can't even tell me what's the explanation on the Yamato line. You can't even tell me all the hints or the parallel. It's not bullshit. You know it's not bullshit, and you know it's not even a red herring. You pretty much have Jiraiya, Minato, Obito looks like fool. And compared to Naruto, because you know Naruto. Here's the thing: Naruto's never given up, right? So why one aspect is okay, and why you didn't even tell us in the manga why you have a bubble fucking shield over Naruto and Sakura to not even notice who's who? What was the whole point of Promise of the Lifetime? Why not just say, hey, you know, I'm gonna bring her back for her, like point blank. You don't need to say, I made a promise. There is no need for that. There was no need for Kage Summit arc in terms of the Team 7 dilemma. Especially in terms of the love department. That's the problem. When you do 699 or 700, whatever, both, when you do that, you destroying the meaning of arcs one by one. You destroy Sasuke and Sai arc. You destroy Kage Summit arc in terms of Team 7 dilemma. I mean, Danzo still got killed up, whatever. You destroy a reason why we still need to see Team Taka, which, by the way, disappeared. That's a good way to make sure that Saku could happen, right? Because you gotta neglect people in order to just satisfy. It's like, you know, I gotta keep neglecting, because if I keep neglecting, then nobody will realize that I worked so much hard on this particular relationship. So why not just keep neglecting? So what's the overall feeling? Well, honestly, I don't know if it says anything, but you know, this podcast was supposed to be recorded 1 hour earlier. Mm-hmm. So I told Scott to delay it because I want to do one thing. And I managed to do it. And luckily for me, it worked because, you know, they're good people. What I did, here's this funny story. 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago, I forgot that I bought Revolution for the Xbox 360. I didn't open it. So I don't know why I didn't open it. Probably because I was busy playing Xbox One or PS4 or whatever I was doing. I don't know. Doesn't matter anymore. So today, you know, I went to work, and then I remember I had the game, and I put it in my bag. I went to work, called the store, if I could ask for a refund. They say, yeah, just bring it, get your order number, and there you go. And then when I went there, and all I said is, thank God. Because one thing for sure, I said before that this game was supposed to help me to prevent my hype for, or not prevent. It's gonna help me for, for Halo Master Chief Collection, and I guess it became literal because I got the money for it. So thank you. Now I got the money for Master Chief Collection, even though I really actually do have a lot of money back. But the point is that whole credit is now going there. So if that doesn't tell you what I think now, well, I mean, it's going to be more coming soon. But honestly, the series itself, I can't say is terrible. It has a bad ending, which actually, again, I really told everybody before I left the forum, this kind of ending that you're going to go for, according to the movie The Last, if you're going for that route, this is a -2 points already. So you got to think straight. And I'm hoping you are thinking straight. Sadly, he didn't think straight. Or, like I said, if he didn't care anymore, or he just told to do this route because money, or whatever, any reason, right now, it only tells me 2 things. Don't be successful. Don't be incredibly successful in a company, corporation, whatever, that will tell you what to do or what not to do, and make sure you're leaving with their expectation or their premise. So that's one thing. 2, if Kishimoto truly wanted this kind of ending, if he really truly wanted this ending, it only tells me one thing. You should never focus too much of a development in terms of relationship, because it could all handle by the end. So everything can handle by the end. Yes, I know the ending actually is the ending, and they're supposed to establish because from the whole entire development. But here's the thing: if I give you chapter 3, and then you go read for like, I don't know, 450, and then you go see the ending at a random spot, you will be so confused how the fuck that happened. So, this series could have been one of the better ones I have read. But the problem is the ending really, really, really hurt. And I'm not even just talking about pairings. Not just the pairings. Just every reasons why this even happened. So, you messed it up, and I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the only thing I could say is, well, thanks. I almost bought a figurine that cost a shitload of money. That's the only thing I could say. I can't say anything else. I see people donating the entire volumes to, I don't know, so somewhere. And yeah. And another thing, if this is your decision, if this is really all yours, it's going to be hard for anyone else who has been heavily disappointed with the work to read your next work. And stuff like that could really stain for a long, long time, if not forever. There's a reason why some mangaka never recovered, because the first work or the second work or whatever the past work really, really hurt their reputation. Like I said, something felt wrong. And it's funny too that Data Book 4 stop at 691 because they know themselves that 692 and up is going to be a lot of great wackiness happening, and a lot of things that's just going to be completely off the chart and off your radar because you never see it coming. So for movie wise, you know what? I don't care. I can't see it because obviously you want to show that development only in Japan. Smart move. Even though we got Shonen Jump Alpha in America or however the other places in the other states and countries get their stuff. Good move. So my last message to the fans, listen, there's always going to be a lot of different ways to fuck you up, to screw you over, and everything else. There's always a way. And Kishimoto has demonstrated by ass pulling. Because let's be real. We saw this. There's a reason why we all confident. We saw this and we got this in the bag. We got this. And he deliberately just say, fuck you. So, again, ass pull will do his justice. And you got to always be afraid of that. But, you know, if you find a manga that's super obvious of pairing, go with confidence. But if you're going to go for another pairing war, I can't stop you, but you should remember this lesson that ass pull can, in fact, happen at any time. And it's funny how he did it at the very end, because if he did it in the middle, God knows that he's going to go down Bleach fast. So, that's all I could say. Do I still like it? I mean, yeah, I guess. It could have been much, much more. It should have been much more. But the ending really hurts everything. More effect than Mass Effect, no pun intended. So, yeah. I'm done.
Yeah, not as passionate as me.
Yeah.
That's
True.
Personally, I'm gonna have to talk to you later for life so I can remember everything you said because I kind of lost interest halfway through there. Sorry, because you were so long.
That's all right.
I kind of wanted to play the Russian national anthem in the background. The company. And we're all just sitting there like,
Yeah.
hi, for
Yeah,
life.
I kind of stopped paying attention at some point.
That's all
Nah,
right.
I listened through it all.
And it's
We-
How
we
much
were
were
all
all
reading
paying
it
attention
all.
to chat though?
I was more of reading the Spider-Verse news.
Oh,
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
Spider-
I was just watching more
It could be like you have-
cartoons and stuff.
At the moment, the Spider-Verse is gonna be what's gonna fill my void of entertainment for the time being.
I
Oh my
really
God.
wish.
Seriously, Fear. It's same
I really-
thing. That's good.
Really,
I
I
really-
got some more thoughts on Sunking about what you guys said. I agree with you, Steve. I completely and utterly agree. It was stupid. It was dumb. I really don't like it. It just makes Naruto look bad, like a bad father. That really. I even blame Boat for it. I don't blame that much of Naruto. Hello?
Yeah,
I'm
we're here.
still, yeah.
Actually,
trying to
I
respect
blame
you.
Boat because he's just a rehash of Naruto's previous characterization. And oh my god, you're really doing this, Kishi? You're really doing this? And it makes me not like Boat because I like Naruto because there was a reason why he's acting out. The reason why Bolt is acting out because his father's not spending enough time with him. But he's the freaking Hokage now. He is Hokage. He has important business to take care of. I mean, I know it's going to be hard to not have a father in your life because I'm a little bit the same way here because my dad wasn't there for me for a lot of things, but at least he was trying. But no, just no. Him just acting out, no. That makes me don't like Bolt's character. And
Well,
for his sister, Okay, you go.
I was gonna say, can we get on to the man himself, the king of the podcast, James himself, and his thoughts? And then
Oh,
Wait,
don't
wait,
tease
wait,
me.
wait.
I'm shy.
Wait. Where did we
you're not
declare
shy, James. You're
King?
anything but Hinata.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're
true.
not
You're actually-
not at all,
You're
James.
actually interesting and not bland.
Okay, I think you're going a bit far there, but
Yeah.
he's
So what do you think, podcast fans? Can these guys suck my dick any harder?
Hey, I was criticizing, okay?
What? You
Well,
wanna-
I
you
am
wanna-
Oh yeah, you dirty girls, work the shaft.
Punch you in the face if you continue.
You want to know? You want to know what's sad? And this is legit. This chapter, these chapters hasn't come out. Technically, hasn't come out officially, and we're really having Japan being outraged about this entire thing, and rightfully so, because
Who knows? Maybe we got like an exclusive US version or something.
imagine that. I
exclusive
would,
US version.
I would hate my country.
You're all in the infinite Tsukiyomi. You're streaming.
I just hate my country if that's the case.
That was
I'm starting to hate any country that speaks English. I mean, people on the internet are.
I hate everyone.
Yeah, screw Western civilization.
Yeah, screw
Down
it.
with civilization. Down with society. What?
Let's not go too far.
Up
I mean,
with
stop.
bubbles, down with air.
Nematodes are people too. Those nematodes. Here's one.
What?
Squidward smells good. Crabs is Crabs is dolphin chirp. You kiss your mother with that mouth? Well, yes, but not recently.
Seriously, can we go to James?
That reminds me.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I saw this GIF.
I kind of want
I
to
saw
hear what
this
James
GIF.
has to say.
Seriously, can we go
Alright,
to James now?
This reminds me of a GIF I saw of like the Plankton episode where he switched lives with Mr. Krabs,
Go to
and then
James.
afterwards, in the end, he's like he wants to go back to his old life, and he just rips off his shirt and has a button and says, "Well, nice knowing you. See you in therapy." I saw a GIF on the H&E forum, and I'm like, that's so accurate for every fan.
They listen, but they do not respect.
Yeah.
This guy has the audacity. This guy has the audacity to actually try to do a romance next.
Right.
Really? Really?
You know what?
I guess it'd be a safe insurance if everybody died except two people, Adam and Eve style. But maybe, God knows, maybe the guy would pair up some rock or some wall. Because, you can't pull your way out in order to make it work.
Okay, can we seriously
He'll
go
die and he'll get with someone else in heaven.
thoughts
That's what
on
happens.
the series and all that stuff?
Okay,
Alright,
let's
let's hear
let
it.
James. Let's let James say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last
Where's
but
this
not least,
next?
Well,
Alright,
And
guys.
last and not least, our king, the guy that started this podcast in the first place. Give our big hand of applause for James.
Cricket.
Fantastic.
Cricket.
yeah,
Alright, guys,
you know
I'll be
who I
short.
am.
Alright, guys, I'll be sure it won't be as mind level.
Well, I'm a bit more pithy in what I have to say.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm James S. Cassidy. You all know who I am. I've been hosting this podcast for 2 years now. My real name is Scott James Summer. Yes, you can make Cyclops jokes. I don't mind. That's fine. I'm 27 years old, and I started reading this manga over 10 years ago. You know, I'm one of the few people that probably started this from the beginning. I was there, like, I didn't start from the very beginning, but I started from, like, volume 3. You know, so I've been here for quite a long time. I read this manga ever since the beginning. Only 2 years ago did I start this podcast, and it's been fantastic. The people that I work with, you guys here on the podcast right now, fantastic. I've never had so much fun in my life. You guys are amazing. And you know who is even more amazing? The people that are listening to us right now and actually enjoy listening to us. So you know what? Give them a round of applause, right? All right, you people that
We
listen to
clap
us.
for you.
The people that listen to us rant, listen to us crack jokes, listen to us yell at each other.
Particularly
Hello,
the
Yelly.
intro.
So
Let's get Steve back in here. He'll yell at
yeah,
someone.
so it's to
Woohoo!
you guys, the listeners, why we could keep doing this for as long as we could have, to the very end. So thank you. I appreciate that from the very bottom of my heart. I thank you. But you're probably wondering what I think about this chapter or think about the manga as a whole. And I have to say that, well, I'm very passionate about what I do. If I get into something, I'm very passionate about it. I don't pull stops. I don't go half-assed. I go all the way. Because if you're going to do something, you might as well go for it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but you'll never know until you go full throttle into it. It's been something I've been trying to pass on to other people, whatever they do, whatever career they do, whatever they want to do with their lives, go for it. Even if it's something as simple as reading a manga and being invested in it. There's no problem with that. That's why I've been so passionate. And this is the reason why we are mad at these final chapters, is because we are that passionate. Okay? It's not a lot of, you hear the Naruhina fans and the NaruSaku fans coming on the video, even on my podcast videos, you see them, typing comment, which is why I had to disable the comments for a while. Just coming in here, bashing us, calling us salty, calling us in denial. Well, you know what? Those are just words, okay? I got a few words for you all. You didn't care about anything in this manga. You only cared about what you wanted. You didn't care about Naruto. You didn't care about character development. You didn't care about the plot at all. You just wanted Hinata to gain everything. That's it. And for the NaruSaku fans, you didn't care about Sakura either. You didn't really care about Sakura, what she felt. You just saw Sasuke, thought he was a sexy bitch, and thought he deserved everything in the world. Well, he did. He did. And it's the most ass-pull thing we have ever seen in our entire life. The only people that are celebrating right now are the Naruhina fans and the NaruSaku fans in the West. Now that's a big deal. Meanwhile, everybody else, the neutral fans, the NaruSaku fans, the Narusasu fans, every other fan that you can think, pairing fans that you can think of, they hate this. So don't think that because you enjoy Naruhina, I even seen some Naruhina NaruSaku fans hate this ending. Even though it's very rare, but it's there. And that's the truth. People hate this ending. It's not because you didn't get your OTP. It's not that trivial. And if you really think it's that trivial, you're the stupid one. You're the one in denial about everything. We hated this thing because it insulted us. And I will stand by that till the very end. This insulted us. It insulted our intelligence. It insulted everything that we knew about this manga. Something that we were so passionate about. This is like the Dark Knight Rises of pissing off Batman fans. Because it's not. This wasn't Naruto. This wasn't Sakura. This wasn't Sasuke. The only character who remained the same was Hinata. And that's pretty pathetic. And I think you Naruhina fans need to understand this one. You wanted Hinata to become strong. You wanted Hinata to be this strong character, to be stronger, to lead her clan, to get with Naruto, to be something much greater. But she can't. Even Hinata is insulted with these final chapters because she has been reduced to nothing more than a house bitch. That's it. A house bitch to a husband who doesn't care. Naruto, who doesn't care. And you know how he doesn't care? Because he spends most of his time at work. Eating at his desk. Working at his desk. And, if that is an alcohol bottle, apparently he's an alcoholic, but I'm not going to go there on that one. You all complain that Sakura hits Naruto and that's abuse. Well, here Naruto hits his own kids. And puts them down and tells them to suck it up. Does that really sound like the Naruto you grew up with? That hyperactive, knuckleheaded ninja that always believed in everybody, that always wanted to help people with their problems? Does that sound like him? Does that sound like that adult version of him? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So if you're happy for this ending, fine. That's your opinion. And congratulations. You know, you got what you wanted. But to everybody else, it cost us a lot. It cost everything. Everything we knew, everything we loved about these characters, about the setup, about the story, was just trashed in 2 chapters. Just trashed. And I feel people miss this. I feel there are many people that miss this. There are many people, not all of them, but there are many people who are too busy, so trivial, so just looking at the surface of this and think, oh, well, you're just being salty. You're just in denial. Yeah, you know what? I am in denial. And I'm proud to say it. I deny that this is the future of Naruto. I deny that this is what it all leads up to. A hero that loses. Think about that for a second. A hero that loses. What did he want? He wanted to become Hokage. He wanted to save his friend. He wanted the girl of his dreams. He wanted to be recognized. And now everything is just a hollow dream. Everything is a hollow dream. He didn't get the girl. He had to settle for Hinata. The quote-unquote silver medal. And you all know that's true. You all know it. But you're never going to admit it. He lost to Sasuke. Yeah, he maybe had won that battle or even tied it. I don't know. Sasuke says he lost. But you know what? Naruto said himself, I didn't want to beat you like this. Not like this. And he didn't. He didn't win at all. He lost everything to Sasuke. And meanwhile, Sasuke, who's just been the worst best friend you can think of, the absolute worst best friend, gets rewarded. Just gets rewarded with everything in the end. And it cost every character's development. You can't raise their bar, so you had to lower everybody else's to make them seem like they're higher. That's pathetic. That's insulting. That is an insult to your writing, Kishi. That is an insult to your fans. That is an insult to the respect that many fans have put so many years into this manga for you. I don't know the reasons why you did this. I don't know why, what made you, what compelled you to do this. But I hope you understand that this is not how love is. This isn't what love really is. And for those of you that keep saying to me that this is not like real life, or in real life you don't get everything that you wanted, yeah, this is not real life. Stories are not meant to emulate real life, because if it was, there'd be no point. Everything would be a depressing story. Nobody would win. Stories are not meant to emulate real life. They're supposed to help you understand that there is always hope. This is why I always read Superman comics growing up. A lot of people hated Superman because he was OP, but that's not what Superman stood for. He was a character that was supposed to give people hope, especially around the time of crisis, like the Great Depression. And that was the whole point of him, to give people hope that there is a tomorrow. This ending, there is no tomorrow. You have to settle for whatever that you can get, because honestly, you're not going to get everything that you want. And while that is a more realistic outcome, it's a depressing outcome. Nobody is happy in this ending. Nobody is happy. And you could see it on their faces. You can see it when you read the panels. You can see it. In the final chapter, 700, do you see Naruhina standing next to each other? Do you see Sasuke and Sakura standing next to each other? Do you see them hugging or interacting or holding hands or any of that any couples would do? Because I don't. Is it denial to want something to show that emotional connection? Because I got that with NaruSaku. Every time they were on page, they could be themselves. They didn't have to be something they weren't. But this, no. I don't accept it. I don't. And the Japanese fan base doesn't accept it either. They refuse it. And for good reason. Yeah, this is Kishi's story. Yeah, maybe he wanted it to end like this. But that doesn't make it right. Nor does it mean that this was a good ending. So to my NaruSaku friends out there, no matter what anybody says to you, don't lose hope, okay? Don't lose faith. Don't give up on your dreams, because sometimes hope is all we got. And that hope is more than enough to live your life to the fullest. And believe me, I've been through some shit in my life. Some of these guys here know that firsthand. You know, because I'll tell you. First, I'll give you a slight breakdown. My first fiance that I ever fell in love with, she died. Tragic accident. The year after, I lost a testicle in a testicular torsion surgery. The year after that, I went through depression and suicidal tendencies. The year after that, I went into a relationship with a girl who beat me and treated me like crap. But because I was so depressed, because I felt that I was such a bad person, that I felt that I couldn't get any better, that I deserved that punishment. That's no way to live a life. So if there's anything that I could tell you right now is, don't let these people bother you. Don't let them tell you that you're salty. Do not let them say that you're in denial, because you're not. You're some of the most amazing people I have ever seen. You know what it's like. You know what it's like to go through trials and tribulations, to want that dream, to have it right in your grasp, and want it so bad that you're willing to do anything for it. And I'm right there with you. And believe me, this podcast, this was all you guys. Because of your support, I continue to do what I loved. Because you love listening to us chat about this, I continue to love doing it. So, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to live a dream, if even only temporary. Thank you for letting me live that dream. And for all my friends on the podcast, the guys in here, Brandon, Steve, Johnathen, BlueStar, Lucky She's 7, For Life, Transformers, you guys are amazing. You guys are the best. And for all those that couldn't make it, that were on the podcast before, Slextrem, Strider C, Quincy, all of you, right here, right in my heart, you're all family. So, and don't you forget that. So no matter what these NH say to you, or what these SS fans say to you, I got your back. Because you know what? Even if it's me against the world, if it's just me against the world, well, it wouldn't be fair otherwise. Because that's how amazing I am. You need the world to come at me in order to put up a fight. Otherwise, step off. Because you're not taking me down. This is not going to take me down. This is not going to get me upset. I'm denying this. I am throwing it away. I'm saying that this is not how Naruto ended. This is not my Naruto. This is not my Sakura. And this is as hell not how I wanted the story to end. This is not my story that I wanted. And I'd rather live in denial and be happy than to put up with this, to accept this. And if you could, do me this favor. Go to Lady GT's stuff. Look at her artwork. Look at how she does the manga ending. She's a really good friend of mine. She's a very talented artist. She's very passionate about her work. Support her. Because I know that just as everybody else, she's just as passionate. And she deserves it. So, Lady GT, this is my free advertisement for you. Go to her work. See her work. Put some faith, a little bit of faith back into you, my NS brothers and sisters, and never regret that you fell in love with this pairing. Because at the end of the day, we didn't need ass pulls. We didn't need movies. We didn't need to break characters to make our pairing happy. We didn't need that shit. We took everything to the face and we stood our ground to the very end. And that is something you can all be proud of. That is something you all should be proud of. I'm proud. What about you guys? You proud?
Yep.
Damn
Hell yeah.
right.
Bro.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was an awesome speech, man.
That
Congratulations.
I was one of the most
Yeah.
optimistic fans of this fandom.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh
what?
yeah. Shout
I'm
out.
just gonna say, Steve set the bar pretty high, but I think you actually went even further.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with that too.
I got teary-eyed, man. Teary-eyed.
Really, I felt
But-
really bad when the ending started, and I was kind of depressed myself. But I just kept on moving on. I just gotta move on from it, and to a point where I'm not gonna watch the anime no more because, like, I know how it ends. So, like, why should I watch it animated? I mean, the only time, yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I might watch once with Sakura kicking ass in the anime.
the funny and the very sad part is, when he said, what's the point of watching anime? I don't. Well, he didn't get to finish, but I feel like you have a really valid point because we're gonna get to the CPR scene, and
Yeah.
you could literally say
Oh, I'm sorry.
there is no point to it. There is no
Yeah.
point to any of it.
Mhm.
None of the development had any point in that.
Pretty
None of it.
much, pretty much everything you're gonna see is not gonna have a point because the only point is the very end, and I do mean very end because everything gets thrown out the window.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
A
It's
lot
sad.
of people said that it happened even sooner than that. I believe it was 692
Yeah.
when basically Sakura had regressed all the way
No.
back to her part
Oh,
one
actually,
self
no,
already.
That's
693.
693.
Yeah.
Personally,
693, all right.
Yeah.
Personally, I didn't think she really regressed, really.
Yeah.
I was going to say, let's see what happens afterwards, but it's only really 699 where her character really regressed.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
What
I
I don't
just
get,
reread it and oh god,
what I
it's
don't,
so bad.
Here's the other thing about the fact there wasn't a resolution to NaruSaku. That's the other thing that pissed me off. 699. We didn't get any.
yeah.
Oh,
About
we'll
that.
get the
Yeah, and
revolution in the
don't-
movie. No
Yeah.
doubt.
that.
But it's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be the dumbest revolution I've ever seen. So basically what it's going to be, and I can tell you right now, and I know this is how it's going to end up, you're going to have Hinata the heroine, the martyr of love, the girl that lived her life by the love of Naruto ever since they were kids, of a cliche romance story of, oh, here's this fucking scarf that I gave you that you so conveniently forgot, which again I think makes Naruto seem like a fucking prick to forget such a thing, 10 years later.
Oh yeah.
I would like to believe when he lost his arm, his brain was lost as well. That's what I believe, and I'm
And
sticking to
Naruto
Naruto's
is not
self-respect.
the main character. Naruto is not the main character anymore. He is the
Nope.
prize. He is the
Look.
trophy that Hinata is trying to get. He's nothing more than a trophy husband, and I'm gonna
Look.
stand by that. With Sakura, she's gonna be portrayed as the fucking cheerleader.
Look,
Okay, but like,
Look.
how do you think
That's so many-
Kishimoto was able to come
there's so
to
many
this
people in this
conclusion? What
chat.
was the rationale? Because if you say, oh, he wanted money, he wanted to continue the series, he could have done that other ways. He didn't need to end it like this. So
No,
why?
I wonder if-
that's
Narusaku
pro-
was really popular in Japan.
Oh.
So
Well,
he-
I
here's the
wonder if
hold on, one at a time.
Really?
One at a
Oh.
time, guys.
One
I
of the-
wonder if somehow the studio had found a way to make him do this ending. But from what do any of you know of Kaidia or something like that?
Can I
Kaidia.
say
Go
something?
like let's say go with sort of the glasses avatar thing, sometimes chat. But anyway, apparently she believed that something about Kishimoto's father's death might have caused him to stop caring or something like that.
No,
There's a lot of
Still a job.
possibilities.
bigger.
It's still a job. It's still a
Look,
job.
There's a lot of possibility, to be honest, and we don't know. But that's the thing. Like, the best answer that you could come up with this is, look, the editors told me what to do. I pretty much gave up this work. I know I really enjoyed it, but a lot of things went through. I'm worn out. I just listened to them and just let them do their thing, and I'm done. Fine.
What?
I will only take that. I only gain. Wait. I will only get some respect for Kishimoto. but I would never get the respect on the Shonen Jump editors because stuff like that. That's what pissed me off about like studios and stuff like that. It's like they're the real one that have the sayings. It's not you, the writer. It's not it's not you, the creator, that has the saying. It's the one that's in in charge of everything, which is the most fucked up thing in business. But hey, that's business. So
we don't really know that. Maybe this was the ending he wanted. Maybe he did want to screw the fans. Maybe he did want to. He said he wanted the ending to be a surprise. It's stupid logic, but maybe this was what he was going for this whole time.
And that's what makes it worse. If that's the case, then that's really, really stupid. Because that's okay. Honestly,
it is stupid. I didn't say it wasn't, but that could be his logic.
I know, but
why would back to arguing with each other?
No, but wait. I just want to answer this part. But that's the thing. Like, it's funny because this manga does have a lot of unexpected things. So I guess he want to top himself up with 699 and 700. He unexpected by giving us the pairings that's incredibly forward, the characters that's incredibly different, and everything else is incredibly different. Like, I could make Konoha different. How? I'm making New York City.
Yes.
He was black.
God damn it.
But the question I'm asking, though, is, like, why would the editors do this? I mean, didn't Road to Ninja do very well? It did better than any of the other movies. Why would they suddenly decide to do
I bet you the last is not going to do as good, too. I think fans in Japan are so pissed they're not going to support the last.
No,
it's gonna
I really don't either.
Yeah, it's going to bomb.
From what we've seen with, like, the Part 1 fillers, it seemed that people on the staffs, or at least, well, maybe animators or maybe editors as well, have always seemed to have a favoritism with Hinata, so perhaps not like Sakura, and perhaps maybe it's possibly a reason why sometimes Sakura's been neglected, because apparently I have heard, like, Tsunade was originally supposed to get a fight against Pain before Naruto, but that was skipped, and one of the editors said no, that Naruto will get credit. And that might be sometimes the case with Sakura.
So that's the reason why people do fanfic or stuff like that. Doesn't run by company, because they have the free will to write what they believe and what they wanted to see in themselves in their own mind. But when we get into corporation, some of the stuff you're never gonna get. We're like, I want Pain to fight Tsunade. I want Tsunade to prove the point that even though she can't beat him, Naruto will. It was a good fight, right? But no, the editor tell them, no, nobody give a shit about this fight. I don't know if it's true or not, but the point is, you're telling them not to do this, so fine.
Oh, no, he said that his editors did tell him not to have Tsunade fight with Pain. Like he said
that's
that.
the point.
Also told him not to kill Neji and Choji during the Sasuke retrieval arc. Told him not.
He should have
told him to add a rival Sasuke into the story, even though he wasn't originally part of it.
Yeah.
Really?
So an editor has a lot more influence than you might think.
During the Sasuke retrieval arc, I honestly thought they were all dead. I can't believe anyone survived.
Apparently in Bleach, well, at least according to TV True, that Kubo never wanted the Aranka and Aizen stuff to last as long as it did. But it was just so popular when it first started that he was told to draw it out longer than that.
That's what I heard too.
I bet you that's the same thing with
personally,
Naruto and Sasuke.
Like, me for Bleach, like, I read Bleach, like, all the way through the Soul Society arc, and I just assumed, like, I got to a point where I noticed the series was going to keep going on forever. There's, like, 300 more chapters to this. Like, you know what? After the Soul Society arc, I'm calling it there. That's where I believe the series ends, and I'm just not going to read any further.
Oh, good. That's when it goes down.
And honestly, doing that much, the series was amazing for me. I'd recommend anyone else do the same.
But which series?
What, Bleach or Naruto? Wait, Bleach, right?
Well,
you're talking about Bleach, right?
Well, with Naruto, you can go read up to the Pain arc, and that's basically be the same idea of what I just said with Bleach. Read up to the Soul Society arc.
Oh, I get it.
I don't remember Naruto having a Soul Society.
You want to get the resolution with Sasuke. You want to get the resolution with Sasuke.
Where would you recommend people to read up to One Piece if you're still a fan of that? No.
Maybe.
Till now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Up to
as far as
now.
One Piece goes, I'd have to
Because
say
there's just a lot of things that you're never gonna. There's just a lot of things that you're never gonna get if you just start right in the middle, or if you go to the beginning and say the Alabasta arc, or the Skypiea arc, or Water 7, or Thriller arc, or
Like,
any of those
like-
others. You can't. You
it's
just
like-
can't. You don't have an ending point. You just. You
Well,
have
with
to start from the beginning.
Naruto, I mean,
It's funny because
and Naruto is going to somehow win the fight. He's going to achieve world peace by saying everyone have hope. It was
'Cause
pretty
he's
obvious
Jesus.
at the beginning. I mean, maybe that's what we want to talk about next. Do you honestly think there's going to be lasting peace in the ninja world at this point? Like, has Naruto attained that?
Well,
no.
they announced
Right.
the miniseries, so there has to be
Yeah.
some sort of conflict.
It could be slice of life though, for all we know.
I don't know. From what I'd seen, let's see, what was I going to say? Let's see. I believe if they're not sure if there was going to be permanent peace, but I think there was going to be a longer timeline of peace than there ever was before, because it seemed like the maximum amount of the times of peaceful years was up to at least 20 years max. Or something like
But I
that.
mean, that's exactly what Nagato said was going to happen. That's what Obito said was going to happen. It's what Madara said was going to happen. They all
Sasuke said.
knew that, like, hey, yeah, you could rally everyone together, and there'd be some peace for a little while, but ultimately it doesn't last, and it really doesn't.
Even
You look
Sasuke
at what
said that.
Madara and Hashirama had. They had established peace together, but it never lasted.
Peace might have lasted for like 100 years or something. I mean, that would be an accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, Nagato breaks it all down. Like, the next generation, they lose the value of peace, so they don't protect it as easily. War ends up breaking out.
And then crap is going to happen once again.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because eventually the newer generations don't appreciate said peace because they don't know what it's like to be during war.
oh yeah.
Actually, you can somewhat say that for Naruto's child, both, because he doesn't respect Tsunade or Kakashi, and saying they're stupid, calling Kakashi like a pervert and mostly jeez, I kind of forgot. Kakashi a pervert and jeez, and oh yeah, Tsunade old bag.
But I think the reason why he's doing that is also because like they're kind of the reason why Naruto inspired to become Hokage. So it's like, okay, since my dad became this, and since he's neglecting everything, I'm gonna blame them too. That's
God damn
That's what I
that finale is so
Yeah.
stupid.
Really, Naruto could have just talked to him about
Maybe-
why he was inspired to become Hokage in the first place.
Maybe
You can
Naruto.
also tell him how he fell in love with Hinata. I want to know that story.
You'll
Oh,
get
that
that
makes-
story
But
in the
don't worry,
movie.
there's going to be a movie.
No, I'm joking. I don't want to see that. I'm not going to support the last.
Okay, yeah.
All right, but like honestly, for me, Bolt is just like, oh hey, we're gonna create this new Naruto series. It's gonna be the next generation. We need a Naruto clone, so let's just make Bolt, and we'll have him basically be the exact same as Naruto. Even if that does degrade Naruto's character because he's kind of neglecting him.
Maybe he's neglecting them because there is no more problem. That's the only way he has to talk to his family. Now is the family. I'm not just talking about Hinata. Now the family. He needs to have problems. That's the only way he could communicate with Hinata.
Yeah, and why is Hinata like not helping her son? What is she
Oh, yeah.
doing?
No
How is she
idea.
doing?
Oh, let's go.
Absolutely.
Okay,
not.
wait, just be quiet for a second. You're starting to.
yeah.
Sorry.
Johnny
Okay.
boy, you gotta calm down a bit.
Sorry.
No,
Uh,
we all have to calm down a bit. This is all riling up, so
Yeah.
I gotta say,
say something.
So did
Can I just
you-
say something? Can I just say something? The fact that they're going to continue the storyline with like Naruto and Hinata with a family out there pisses me off so much. It pisses me off. I can't even ignore it in that effect. That just those last. I have to ignore this whole mini series, this whole other series, just so I could get out of my head. But no, they're going to continue this. It's going to be forced on me. And
You know what? You know what's gonna happen? That they're going to go throughout like another 700 chapters. So the entire time we're gonna think that Salada and Bolt are gonna end up being the next pairing, but at the very end they're gonna switch it with someone else.
Well, then again, from what I've heard, part
yeah.
is supposed to be like a mini series. That's what I've heard.
Speaking of mini,
It's supposed to be very
series,
short.
What's gonna
Yeah.
happen? Speaking of mini series, what's gonna happen to this Taka comedy Rock Lee style series? Has that
It's
been
still going. No, it's still going.
Let's still go. In fact,
Yeah, except now
they'll show
Sasuke's the main
Sasuke.
character.
Maybe that's why
Yeah,
they did that. Maybe that's why they did that because they know that Kishimoto is gonna literally vanish them. They're gonna give all the Team Taka, including Orochimaru, hey, there's a cloak device. When you turn it on, there is no such thing as turning it back off. So
Beat me up, Scotty.
We have a Scotty here too.
Really?
I
managed to find a way to actually make NaruSaku work. Unfucking believable.
Right?
Don't even talk about. Don't talk about it. Like the fact that it happened makes. Oh my god, my
Right.
brain hurts.
No, okay, wait. Let me say this.
Oh.
The only reason why it happened, and I bet you, is for Naruhina. I bet you that's the only reason why it happened.
yeah, so Naruto can be heartbroken, and mostly Hinata could just scoop him up after all the emotional blah.
Okay, hold on. Exactly, has this podcast finished yet, or what? I'm
Nope.
just curious.
We have one final thing to do.
What's the final thing to do?
You guys want to go do the final thing now?
Yes.
Yes,
Sure.
Can I say
yes,
something,
let's
though?
do the last thing on this
All right.
podcast.
So this is my final message to everybody. Narusaku, Naruhina, Sasusaku, Naruto fandom, everyone who followed us, everyone who followed the manga, everything. But before we get to that, I just want to bring this up. Hey, For Life,
Yeah.
should we put this to the number 1 on the Aspo list? And put
Yeah.
Airs at number 2?
Yeah.
I think
actually,
you
you should.
Because she's
You should now.
Elsa.
You should truly do that.
So,
Because she's Elsa. Like Elsa. Yeah, Elsa's just a living one.
she's too much bullshit, but she makes more sense than Naruto!
Ah!
So-
Because she's Batman.
So I got one last message for everybody. One more thing for the end of the road. I'm gonna make you bend and break, say a prayer. Let us pray, but get the good times roll. In case God doesn't show, let the good times roll, let the good. And I want these words to make things right, but it's the wrongs that make the words come to life. Who does he think he is? If that's the best you got, you better put your fingers back to the. Fuck! I'll re-sing it.
One more time.
I award you no
Thanks for the
points.
memories.
Tastes like
Thank
you,
God have
only
mercy on your soul.
sweeter.
I don't know
One
anything
night,
about this song.
yeah, and one more time. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for the
memories.
memories. See, he tastes like you, only sweeter.
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 I have no idea what's going on now.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Been
thought
looking
we were
forward
gonna
to
talk
the
about some-
future, where my eyesight is going bad, and this crystal ball. And it's always cloudy except for when we
Except
look
for-
into the past, look into
Look
the
into the
one
past.
night stand. One night stand. One more time. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. He tastes like you, only sweeter. One night, yeah, one more time. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the memories. He tastes like you, only sweeter.
So
I've been
confused.
blinded by this light.
So how many people have the balls to sing on the podcast, huh? Just me
I
and
do.
Steve?
I don't know any songs. Do you
Ah,
want me
no,
to like
I've
rap
just
or
make up
something?
my own song. This
So,
is the
so we-
NaruSaku podcast.
We are done. This is okay, but I just seriously though, the final thing I could say is this may be the final podcast, but I ain't done yet, motherfuckers. I'm coming back. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm coming back, and I'll see you all next time.
See you
next
later,
time.
guys.
See you later.
Bye.
I'm BlueStar.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.
I'll still be here on the internet.
Happy trails.
One more
See ya.
night, one more
done?
time.
We're
So
done.
have we actually ended already?
So long.